This isn't a video to justify cheating. It's not here to make excuses. It's here to explain what most people never understand. Why do people cheat? Not the easy answers, not "they're just bad people" or "they don't care." The real reasons. The ones that don't fit on a bumper sticker. This is the psychology of cheaters. And it's more complicated than you think. Let me be clear, cheating is a choice. It causes real damage. It breaks trust in ways that sometimes never heal. Nothing in this video erases that. But if you want to understand human behavior, not just judge it, you need to look deeper than "they're terrible." Because the truth is, cheaters aren't always who you think they are. Let's start with the obvious question. Why would someone risk everything? Their relationship, their family, their reputation. Years of trust built slowly. Why throw it away for something temporary? Here's what psychology reveals. Most cheaters don't cheat because they stopped loving their partner. They cheat because something inside them feels broken, and they're looking for a fix in the wrong place. Psychologists call this the seeking self. When someone cheats, they're often not seeking a new person. They're seeking a new version of themselves, the version that feels desired, the version that feels exciting, the version that feels alive. Somewhere along the way, they lost that feeling. And instead of doing the hard work to find it within themselves or their relationship, they look for someone else to give it back to them. It's not about the other person, it's about escape. Here's the first pattern: emotional starvation. And some people cheat because they're emotionally starving in their current relationship. Not because their partner is bad, but because somewhere connection got lost. Conversations became logistics. What time are you coming home? Did you pay the bill? The kids need pickup. Touch became routine, intimacy became scheduled. And slowly they started feeling invisible, not unloved, just unseen. When someone else finally sees them, really sees them, it feels like oxygen after drowning. They're not choosing the other person over their partner. They're choosing to feel alive over feeling numb. That doesn't make it right, but it explains the pull. Here's the second pattern: unresolved childhood wounds. Many cheaters carry wounds they've never examined. Maybe they grew up craving attention they never got. Maybe they learned early that love was conditional, something you had to earn and could lose at any moment. Maybe they were abandoned, betrayed, or made to feel not enough. And now, as adults, they have an endless hunger, a need for validation that no single person can fill. So they seek it from multiple sources, not because they're greedy, but because the hole inside them is bottomless. They don't know how to feel worthy without external proof, and every new person who wants them temporarily fills that void until it empties again. Here's the third pattern: fear of intimacy. This one seems contradictory. If they're afraid of intimacy, why seek more relationships? Because cheating creates distance. When you have a secret, you can never be fully known. And for people who are terrified of being truly seen, that distance feels safe. They want connection, but they're afraid of what happens when someone gets too close. So they keep one foot out the door, always. Cheating becomes a way to stay in a relationship without ever being fully in it. A way to be close without being vulnerable. Here's the fourth pattern: the escape from self. Some people cheat to escape their own lives, the monotony, the pressure, the weight of responsibilities they never wanted. The affair becomes a fantasy world, a place where they're not a tired parent, a stressed employee, or a person drowning in obligations. In that world, they're desired, they're mysterious, they're free. It's not about the other person. It's about who they get to be when they're with them. A vacation from their own existence. Here's the fifth pattern: self-sabotage. Some people cheat because they don't believe they deserve happiness. Things are going well, the relationship is stable, and somewhere inside, a voice whispers, "This won't last, you don't deserve this." So they destroy it before it can be taken from them. Cheating becomes a way to prove themselves right. "See, I knew I'd ruin it." It's not logic, it's a wound acting out. Here's something most people miss. Cheating is often not about desire for someone new. It's about running from something inside. Emptiness, fear, shame, unworthiness. The affair is a symptom, not the disease. That doesn't excuse it, but it reframes it. The person they really betrayed, often themselves, Here's where it gets complicated. Not all cheaters are the same. Some feel genuine remorse. They hate what they've done. They don't recognize themselves. They want to understand why and never do it again. Others feel entitled. They justify, minimize, blame their partner. They lack the capacity to take responsibility. They may have deeper issues with empathy or narcissism. Psychology sees these as different categories. One is a person who made a devastating mistake from a broken place. The other is a pattern of character that won't change without serious intervention. Both did damage, but they're not the same. Here's what this means for you. If you've been cheated on, this video isn't asking you to forgive. It's not telling you to stay. Those are your choices, and they're valid either way. But understanding the psychology might help you stop blaming yourself. Because here's the truth. It wasn't about you. It was about something broken in them that they didn't have the tools to fix. You didn't fail. They did. And if you're someone who cheated and you're watching this, wondering why you did what you did, here's what I want you to know. Understanding isn't excusing, but it's the first step to never doing it again. The wound that drove you there, it's still there. Another person won't heal it. Only you can. Through honesty, through therapy, through the hard work of looking at yourself clearly. You're not defined by your worst moment, but you are responsible for what you do next. Before you go, tell me, did this help you understand something you couldn't before? About someone else? Or about yourself? Drop it in the comments. And if you've ever wanted to understand the why behind something painful, comment, "Now I get it." You're not alone in trying to make sense of things that hurt. Understanding doesn't mean accepting, it means seeing clearly. And sometimes that's where healing begins.